Hey everybody, it's me Edward Jones back with a new video. This is another open carry report. Today is May 20th, 2025. I'm a few days late, I know, but hey, I'm not just Monster 500A, I'm now dad. Yeah, she came into this world. Um it's funny. Before I jump into this open carry report, my daughter my daughter was born on May 14th. Now, originally my birthday was supposed to be May 14th, back in 1989, but I was 2 days late. Apparently, I didn't want to leave just yet. Well, she was supposed to be born on my birthday, but she was delivered 2 days earlier. So she did what her old man couldn't do, which is show up early. But but it's been a great time. I'll do a video talking more about it, but I've been so tied with that, and I really haven't had time to do a video. But I found a nice cool spot, which I mean cool as it can be here in Columbia, South Carolina, because it's May. That community is starting to kick in, and it's gonna be very difficult doing these videos. But but man, I still have a soft spot for the viewers. So I'll try to keep this content going. Maybe I'll try to do it in the shed where I actually have a shed now. But anyway, so if you're new to the channel, I do these videos typically in the middle of every month. Just talk about my experience with open carry in South Carolina. I've been doing this since uh, I started in August 15th, 2021. And that's when I started doing these videos. It's now 2025, and I've still been open carrying, and it's been a great experience. Let's see. I was I remember I was in Tractor Supply, and I was walking around. I was trying to get some stuff for my pet rabbit. I do have a pet rabbit. Similar to one of the comparisons I have to Doom Guy, I guess. I do have a pet rabbit. Name is Phoebe. Her name is Phoebe, and I was trying to get some stuff to get her caged outside to keep it from basically to get her out of the shed. So I went to Tractor Supply, open carry my 1911, my Serpa holster, and I walked around. I actually saw a guy I saw a couple, and there was a guy carrying it was a Smith and Wesson M&P9, I believe, and he was open carrying, and so I approached him. We chatted for a bit, just got talking, see if you know any other people who are carrying openly. He said, no, you haven't really seen anybody doing it. His wife says she carried, but I think that I think she was carrying concealed, but typically he carries openly. Um, and he said, he enjoys it. I enjoyed it as well. It was actually cool to see another person exercising their right out in the exercising their right out in the open, which is like I said, which is what I do to try to educate people about about their rights when concerning keeping and bearing arms. So it's cool seeing someone else carry. Before that, I had to go to a funeral. Unfortunately, a friend of mine's wife passed away, and I had to get my suit dry cleaned. So I lived pretty close to a dry cleaner, and I went there, dropped off a suit, carrying my 1911 as always, whereas typically, and the lady behind the counter there, she was cool with it. Didn't say anything, and I left. Came back the next day with my ticket to pick up my suit, and I asked her, the people, I think she asked me, was I a cop? And I said, no, I'm just a welder. He said, okay, well, I was wondering, do you typically see people carrying? And she said no. She hasn't seen. Sorry, checking something. I thought something fell. She said no. She didn't. No, she didn't really see anybody carrying. But I said what was interesting is that when I was leaving the day before, this older guy came in. This older white guy came in and asked her, was he a cop? And she said, no, I don't think he was a cop. And and he said, you ought to put up a sign, to tell people they shouldn't be carrying guns in this place. And this is cool. She said, well, I mean, he was just carrying. I figured, he had a permit. He wasn't bothering anybody. I don't want to shut up. I didn't want to keep him from coming into my business. And when she told me that, I said, you got yourself, you convinced me not to go anywhere else. I really appreciate that. That someone's willing to buck against the trend of people not typically seeing arms in public, and she was willing to let that slide to keep me as a customer, and I really appreciate that. When there are a lot of establishments that don't want their customers carrying. I've heard a lot of times it's for insurance purposes, but I think it's really because there are people who say that they see someone carrying, they're not gonna they're not gonna come back. Well, this person, this lady, she said, I'm not gonna do that. I mean, he came in, he was polite, he was a customer, and so I'm gonna do business with him, and so I really appreciate that. I think it's good. I think it's good to come across businesses that are welcoming people who carry openly. Like I mentioned before, a little about a year ago, my wife, she went to a Subway, and she was carrying openly, and then one of the customers objected to it, but the manager, he didn't care. In fact, he gave her her sub on the house. So I'm not saying that that people are going to do favors for you, but I think it's just good that there are businesses that are being welcoming to anyone who's coming in to do business with them, whether they're carrying open or concealed or not carrying at all. So I think it's pretty cool. But that's all I got for this month. Um, I did do a little adjustment on the Browning high power holster that I did a video on. I got it. I took a duty belt that I had for my Polymer 80 build, and I decided to put it with that surplus holster for my high power, and it works out a whole lot better. I may see if I can go online and get another one of those duty belts to make up for the one I took off another holster. Because I think it's good to be able to have something have a rig that's comfortable. Typically, I always have the Serpa system, but I do like having something that's similar to a cop rig. That way, it just more is more is not just more secure, but it's a little bit more comfortable because you have some added support going all the way around your waist rather than it just being off to one side. Well, that's it. Also, I want to share with you guys. Also, my birthday just passed, so now I'm 36. I had a very busy. My last week was very busy for me. I had a lot of people, tell me congratulations on being a dad. Then comes the happy birthdays, which is pretty cool. Again, I'm gonna do a video just about the experience of becoming a dad and my thoughts behind that. But yeah, please share your thoughts. Leave a comment in the comment section. Like, share, and subscribe. If you want to help out the channel, go to my YouTube homepage. Look for the PayPal link and the Cash App link. All donation amounts are appreciated. Any gripes, complaints, send me a PM. I'll see what I can do to address them. But that's my video. It's Open Carry Report for May 20th, 2025. I'm Edward Jones. You guys take care. Be safe. Stay strapped. And God bless.